in this review, you're going to find out where I got it from, the time it took to get here, how much I paid for it, it's always the important one, what you get with it in a package, what it's capable of doing, its specifications, how it came all boxed up and packaged and delivered, how much setting up time it took to build it, because it doesn't come pre-built, obviously it's far too big. Is it capable to do it one person? And yeah, what I've done on it, I've turned several things now. You guys won't have seen what I've turned on it yet on my channel, because I've been doing pre-DVR, pre-Galaxy videos, which was on the old lathe and in the old workshop. This workshop's all been redone, repainted, new lights, new metal workbenches which you guys can't see, and obviously the beast, the NOVA Galaxi. It's here. The big lathe has just turned up. The guy bringing it off the truck now. It may be a bit heavy. The NOVA Galaxi. How much does it weigh? 240k. The beast is here, ready for the journey to continue of wood turning. I've got a big space cleared inside where the old lathe went last night. Can't wait to unpackage this and get it in there. Great delivery. Pool wood machinery delivered it today. Great guys to get it here, wedged in behind my car. So yeah, great guys, thank you very much. Who said people in wheelchairs can't walk? Not me. As you can see, there's a big empty space just here. That's where the NOVA Galaxi DVR is outside, 10 foot away, outside that door, waiting to come here. But I can't get it in, because it's 240 kilograms. Not happening. All the will in the world, I can't pull that in here. Or ram it here, but no, I can't do that. I'll break the chair or my feet, one or the other. So, it's sat out there, waiting for me. But my dad's coming tonight and my good lady's inside, so we'll get it in here one way or another. We'll get it all packaged. I'll record it all out there for you guys to see how well it came packaged here to me, as I'm doing a review on it for Pool Wood Machinery. Don't forget that bit. I'll put their link and their email in the description on the video for you guys to see how good they are. It's been brilliant so far. Beating everybody else on price, really. Bent over backwards to help me. Make sure it's packaged up and it's secure, it's wrapped up, so if it rains outside, it can come. And the guys that delivered it in the lorry, amazing. He brought it up, I just had to move my car a little bit, but he spent half an hour wiggling the pallet truck to get it as close to the door as he physically can. Unfortunately, it didn't come on a pallet lengthways, because it would have just come in through the back door and we'd have got it in here. But that doesn't matter, they spent the time to do it, they knew what they were doing, not scratched anything, not damaged anything. Brilliant guys. Thank you. And I'm going to go and have some lunch and wait to play my lathe.
So this is just a time-lapse clip of me unpackaging the NOVA Galaxi. Well, trying. I was amazed how well it was screwed together, nails through the box, and each corner had steel reinforcement corner protectors on, all screwed up. Luckily it's only a little box, so I can manage it in the chair. I didn't want to wait for anybody whilst doing this, I was too excited to get it and play with it. However, I couldn't pick anything up. No parts of the lathe anyway. It was far too heavy and kept pulling me out of the chair every time I tried. Unfortunately, the camera died at the end of this, so I need to sort out a better way of recording. and I think I might be able to show you that later. So, on to the build process. This wasn't that difficult at all, really. There's instructions, but you don't honestly need them. Now, is it possible to be built by one person? Yes, it is. Is it possible to be built by a guy in a wheelchair on his own? No, it's not. However, I'm quite lucky and fortunate that I have a table jack, as you can see in this video. We'll get the bed on the table jack, put the legs on, and I can jack it up and move it around wherever I want it, which is the same thing that I'll do if I ever need to move the lathe in the workshop. I just put it on the table jack and move it. Absolutely brilliant little contraption to have in a house, especially when you're a crip in a wheelchair like me. So bolted on the legs, relatively easy, nothing difficult at all. Everything fits really well, very good quality, and no tapping out to be done with any of the powder coating. It was already pre-done for us. The tailstock, banjo and head all just slide on, dead simple, into place and lock as they would do when being used. Very impressed with how good quality the machine is and the setup was. Very simple. Okay, I've got to say it. Thanks, Dad. Obviously, I couldn't put this together without you. And as usual, Mr. Walker always helps me.
It's here. So I'm very happy, obviously. It's got in, we've done it. We've got it into the workshop, me and my dad and my good lady Eve. Me and Dad built it yesterday, which you'll see on the time lapse, I think. If I've done it right, if I didn't ruin it. I don't know, I've never done that before. So I said to Paul Wood Machinery, where I bought this from, I was going to do a review on it. And because I can't see any other reviews from the UK for this machine either. It's in the UK, as you know. I'm Wheelsdan. I'm from the UK. And also, you can't miss it, I'm in a wheelchair. I'm going to start this end and I'm going to finish at this end. Because that's difficult to do, isn't it? No. The NOVA DVR is amazing. Like, it's the 1644, so that's 16 inches swing over the bed, 44 inches long, and it's got a turn head on it as well. So you undo the lock at the back here, and this head will turn out towards you, outboard turning, or completely 180 degrees the other way. So you can put the bigger rest on and turn massive bowls, I believe up to 30 inches or 33 inches. That's huge. This is the 1644 NOVA Galaxi DVR. I've just bought it from Paul Wood Machinery here in the UK. Absolutely brilliant. Ian's sorted everything out for me. Delivery, obviously, got me a great cost on it. Very competitive prices. Beat everybody, if I must be honest. Helped me out quite a bit. Sent me some stuff with it as well. There's my logo on it. Obviously, I've bought everything that I could, as much top range as I could. So I've got the Robert Sorby chuck in here. Absolutely lovely. Got some of the jaws for it as well coming. To go on it, I've also bought I changed the tailstock life center out from the Galaxy Nova one, which is, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just little bit chunky, and I want a opportunity to put different pieces in as well. So this one here, this life center here, this is a Robert Sorby one, and this one allows you to take out the ends, the centers. So you can put like a hollow point center in there, a cone center in there. Obviously, as you can see, a pointed center, and you can also put a really narrow, like a micro center in there as well. So that's absolutely brilliant. The only tiny gripe that I do have with this is it's made to work obviously with these, but as you can see, it's on 1 inch already. So it has to be on 1 inch already, because if you wind this in anymore, like so, there we go, it's started. You can see it self-ejects the centre out. With the NOVA Galaxi one, obviously it's a bit shorter, it sits in properly. So it's not a problem, it's something that I'll have to remember. Don't go to 0, you idiot, because it'll pop out. But it's absolutely fine. It's an amazing piece of machine. The bed is fantastic, it's amazing. To not have a circular bed like the other one had, my old one, and to be able to just turn this handle and everything just slides with super ease, even though they are very heavy parts, especially that tail stock. I tried to pick that up, which you probably see in the video. I tried to pick that up outside when we was bringing it in, and it nearly had me out of the wheelchair. It's not like silly heavy, but that was quite heavy. Too heavy for me to be picking up and unbalanced in a wheelchair. But on there, moving it around, it slides like nothing. It's great. It just glides side to side. I'll show you all that in a minute when I put this up on the tripod, because I can't hold it and do this at the same time in a wheelchair, because I'll fall out of it. So we'll turn it on and it plays a little tune. Although I would like to know how to turn the tune off, because if it does it too many times, I think I may well break it. So we turn it on. It tells me the emergency stop is pressed. It's great. That means release it. So it's all electronic, obviously direct drive. It's fantastic compared to the other thing I had, changing belts on this side to try and get the RPMs down or up, and oh god, pain in the arse. You've seen it, you've seen me do it. But this thing, well, I didn't even think I could have a lathe that'll go down to 250 RPM, but this doesn't go down to 250 RPM. It goes down to 100 RPM. Look at that. And it's silent. Really quiet in here. It goes up by 5 if you just don't press it in. So I get it, I can control it really, really, really well. Or you can press it in. Yep. 1616 RPM. Absolutely awesome. And again, you see that resonance of the machine going. Then from 2,100, let's put it 2,200, how fast this stops. Now that's a safe machine. Panic, hit the emergency stop, we're safe. Open it up. That's awesome. I'll use a preset. It wants me to say 250, yes. Confirm it. So accurate. Turn it off. Tells me it's stopped. Emergency stop in. Tells me it's in, tells me I need to release it. Turn the machine off at the back. So I should show you that. So it's just there, look. Turn that off at the back. Well, that is my NOVA Galaxy. Now, a couple of things that I've got to say I'm surprised about with spending, well, over £2,500 on a machine. I would think, when you're spending that kind of money, that the quality of a few pieces would be a little bit better, as they have been on some of the other machinery that I've bought. You know, I don't take anything away from this machine. It is amazing. But a few parts, so like the cast iron on those legs there, is quite poorly cast. I don't know whether I can take you closer with me in my wheelchair to show you. You see, the legs are made of cast iron, and that casting is pretty bad. This has nothing to do with the seller, obviously. It's a bit rough. I know this is a lathe and we're not worried about this part, you know, aesthetic part of it. But when you're spending £2,500 plus, I think that probably should be a part of it. Moving along to the bed, which I think I've already told you, I think is amazing. The quality on this finish, if I get the phone to, there you go. That finish is phenomenal. It's not polished because it shouldn't be. I think this is amazing. This is level. This bed is perfect level cross and lengthways. We've leveled it up because we've got the adjustment feet down there, which I probably haven't shown you enough of, but yeah, we have. So I'm moving on to the banjo now, which is incredible how easy it moves. It just slides. But without look, this thing just was one-handed. I'm in my wheelchair. I haven't got my brakes on. I'll put them on now because we're a bit safer. So one finger. Super, super easy. This thing is just unbelievable how easy it is to move it. So we'll lock that off. Okay. That's locked. And that ain't going nowhere. I can beat the life out of that. It's not moving anywhere. Now, it wouldn't be fair if I didn't do a review without some negative points. A negative point for me being in a chair is this handle. Look how far that sticks out from the machine. Come round probably and show you from behind. But why does a handle need to sit out that far from a machine? I just don't understand. It's got two positions to lock, either here or here. If it locks here, that's a very bad idea because that's just going to bump straight into me when I'm trying to turn and an able-bodied person's hips. But here again, I think that would bump into your hip if you're able-bodied. And you were working on a large piece, obviously, you know, this sort of length piece, you'd be bumping into that, I believe. I might be wrong, but obviously I'm only a disabled turner in a wheelchair, so I don't know. But I don't like it. I think that bar needs straightening, and me doing quite a bit of machining, and I'm an engineer, engineering, should I say, I'm not a qualified engineer. I'm a welder as well, so I might well be taking that bar off and pushing it back in. I'll put it on the bender and bend it back in so it's a bit better. I won't be doing that till Nova see this video, because hopefully they'll have a look at it and maybe change something. Okay, moving on next. The lock for the rest, this lock here, lovely, nice, big, that's absolutely solid. Really get your hands onto that. It's got a good thread. That's got to be it's a decent, maybe M12 sort of size bolt going through there to lock into place, which is great. Nice stainless steel, you know, that's going to last a long time. Same as the handle, you know, it's got a nice rubber bit on it, which is brilliant. It's going to last a long time. Moving up to something that I don't like, and this is coming from an engineering side of me and coming up to a metal finishing side of me. You did a fantastic job here, Nova. Beautiful job here. And the milling underneath the banjo is fantastic. Same as the headstock. the milling underneath here, and the fit is perfect. Same as the fit and perfect finish on the banjo, the tailstock as well. Fits brilliantly. Absolutely love it. So if you did such an amazing job here, why did you do a rubbish job here? The rest. This is what I put my chisel or bowl gouge against, not chisel. Put my bowl gouge against here and slide it side to side and up and down to get decent cuts on the wood that I'm turning. Now, if it's relatively soft wood, then every single one of these bumps, let me get this to actually see, every single one of these bumps here, across that top edge, they are all going to be reflected in my timber. So I'm asking the question, why has that not been finished with a milled edge? Or even a stainless steel plate put on top, which is exactly what I'm going to do. If I don't get this changed, if Nova don't do anything about it, or if it's not possible, because I probably don't have it in the product range, then I'll be drilling here, 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 and here, and I'll be putting in a stainless steel plate over the whole face of this, so that I have a stainless steel lip to roll around here, and the stainless steel will be nice and flat all the way across, solid. And me being in a chair, maybe it's a bit different to you guys stood up or the able-bodied people. You probably use a bit more of your hip movement and your arm movement, moving side to side with the gouges, whereas me being in a chair, I haven't got any abs, so I can't bend over. It's not an excuse, it's just the fact that's how it is. So I need to be able to put the gouge on here and slide along, or underneath and slide along. So if I'm sliding along this bumpy surface, again, that's going to be projected into my work. That's one gripe that I've got, one thing I don't like about this. And that one tiny little thing, I know I spent ages telling you, but hopefully that's because Nova will do something about that. That and this farty little handle problem, that's it. Literally, that the aesthetics of the legs, that's aesthetics. That's not something that's going to make a bit of your work not quite right or make it more difficult to do your job. But everything else on this thing is absolutely amazing. You've got a great little tidy away here. You open this up and it's got your centers in it. Great idea, absolutely brilliant idea. I don't think there's any other lathes that have that idea, to be honest. Maybe a faster way of getting in there might be better, but to be honest, that's great. I love it. Okay, so onto the actual tailstock itself. It's a beast. Everything about this machine is a beast. It's an absolute monster. It's proper solid. It's proper hard. I mean, even the locking handle, that thing's massive. And look at that. Crazy how easy that is. Probably get a bit stiffer when we start getting some sawdust on the bed and everything. So what else came with it? The faceplate came with it, which is it's a standard 6-inch faceplate, but with double screws in there. My one with the last lathe only had one set of screws in there, so that's a lot more secure. It's a big chunky unit as well. It's not small. It's got 2 grub screw sets in there to make sure that it doesn't slip, because this lathe has forward and reverse. So, and it also is fixed with a brake. So if you don't have the grub sets in there, when you slam the emergency stop or brake on, every time that happens, it could potentially loosen that up. And then you end up with it flying off the lathe in reverse, which you don't want. Okay, onto the bowl surfer rest. Now, again, this is where I'm going to moan. The bowl surfer rest isn't the cheapest thing in the world to buy. I will put it up on screen how much it was, because I can't remember whilst I'm doing this video. It's got a 1-inch thick bar to go into the tool rest. Now that is brilliant. 1 inch thick into here when it's clamping you know, that ain't going to vibrate, that ain't going to move. That's absolutely brilliant. That's super solid. You're going to get no vibrations from that or anything, and it's going to be, you know, you ain't going to have any reflect through into the work or anything, or it moving on you over time through vibration and things. That's brilliant. It's I believe it's not, it might be stainless, low grade stainless, but if it's not stainless, then it's bright steel. Might well be just bright. Now the surfer rest is, God, nearly went through my window. The bowl surfer rest is big. That's huge. For me, for what I've just been turning on, that is massive. I'm just going to cut off the video and I'm going to place it on the banjo. Hey, you guys are back. Sorry about that. So, I've just placed the bowl surfer rest onto the banjo. Look at the size of it. It's massive. It's brilliant. The reach that's going to have inside bowls is great. I don't know whether I can even get that far enough away for you guys to see it, how good that's going to be. It is absolutely huge. And, you know, it's got a good curvature to it for size. Yeah, that's a big ass bowl that's going to get in. Now, here comes the gripe again. There comes the gripe again, the problem. Look at the finish on it. It's cast iron. Where's the milled face, Nova? The face is absolutely rubbish on that. I don't even think the casting is that tidy on it. If you look at this, look at it. The casting's a bit wavy, bit all over the place. You expect that with casting, but they could have done some finish work on it before powder coating it. I do believe they could have done a much better job on this, and I don't like it, if I'm honest. It's an expensive piece for something that, yes, you do need, but I'm a metal worker, so, as well as a woodworker, so I'll be making my own. I can make my own one of these pretty easily. It won't be as fancy or as, you know, with the curve that they've got, or probably with the weight they've got because it's cast, but it will be good. Let me just lower this down a bit. So I'm looking on the inside edge, because this is the edge, the top edge here is where you're going to be running your gouges across. This groove here that they've put in is supposed to be where your finger sits. So this big groove, this big groove that they've got there going on is where your finger's going to sit in there. But I don't know about you, when I'm running my gouge across the top of this, and how pitted that is, that's not good to me. There's lumps and bumps in it all over the place. And that is going to be reflected in my work. Yes, we've got sandpaper and all that sort of stuff to get it out of the work. But if you've got a nice smooth surface first, it's a lot less sanding to do. Bit disappointed in this piece. Again, it's nothing to do with the sellers. It's nothing to do with the distributors. It's mainly to do with NOVA and quality control, really. I'm just thinking that you've got a beautifully milled face here. Why don't you just put a milled edge on the top of this? And even did a recess on it and put a stainless steel top on there, or bright steel. So yeah, the few little bits of moans away and gone out my head, because this is the most amazing tool I have now in my workshop. I've got some crazy other stuff, but for wood, this is just a beast. And I cannot wait to actually get turning on the NOVA Galaxy. Thank you very much, Ian at Paul Wood Machinery, and I will put their links on the channel, or probably across the screen now, their website. Ian, great. Thank you so much. You gone above and beyond. In the logos, keep a look out for me, Wheelsdan. And if you found any of this, interesting, heavy, I try to move it in the chair with it. My chair's very tippy, very, every way. No way I was picking that up. If it's in a dumbbell at the side of me, yeah, I could probably pick it up. But that, nah, not a chance. Couldn't pick it up. It's got some serious weight to it, which is good because, the more weight you've got in the machine, the more weight you can put on the machine without over-tasking it or overloading it, getting it to wobble. And also, it slides on this bed. As soon as you release the back stop on it, it slides on this bed like it weighs nothing. It just slides so nicely because the machining has been done phenomenally. So it's got, I know I probably shouldn't have the storage for my truck there, but that's the lock bar in there. You put the knockout bar in, you unlock it, and then you can turn the head. I'll show you that very quickly. I don't want to do it too much, so I have to reset the leg. You just turn that up like that. And you should be very easily able to undo the lock on there. Look at that. How easy is that? Just turn that way. Okay, I'm happy. Turns that way, and then it should index itself back in. There you go. That's now locked. There's a lock that's set it at different angles for you, 20 degrees I think each one. And then when you're happy with it, which I'll have to change later, you just wrench that bar back down. And that is absolutely locked in place now. That's not going nowhere. That's proper locked down. Because it turns, brilliant for people in wheelchairs, brilliant for anybody really, not just people in wheelchairs, but brilliant for people in chairs because you can turn it. I just need it to turn that 20 degrees extra, and then I can get inside the bowl. It's not dangerous for me, as in, because I can't lean over, I'm leaning on the rest a lot more to try and get in and look, see what I'm doing inside and stuff, which is just putting all that weight on the rest at the front. I'm leaning on it, I'm holding the gouge as well, so I'm wobbling about. It catches. Not a good story because it comes straight up and whacks me in the chin. Or to be fair, it's normally about here. So it just goes, flies in the air away from me.
As you can see here, got all the timber stacked underneath the lathe, and my gouges are under there, and a set of drawers for all my tools and equipment. I've also started using, as you can see, the cellulose sanding sealer from Chestnut Products on all my timbers, and now the Yorkshire Grit. Brilliant, great stuff. I'm also going to be using the new Hero 9 from GoPro to record all my videos, so hopefully get you guys some decent footage. Okay, this is the end of part 1, so if you're watching the longer version, then please stick around a minute or so and I'll be back. If you're watching the short version, please go find the next video, as that's got my conclusion and what I thought of the lathe. Thanks again.
Hey everybody, so this is my new NOVA Galaxi DVR 1644. It's 3 months old now, so this is the review that I'm doing on it. I figured 3 months would be long enough to give a decent review, and so that I can explain what I like and what I don't like, as obviously being in a chair, it's a bit different turning to people stood up, able-bodied. The NOVA Galaxi DVR, what is it? Obviously it's a lathe. What does the 1644 stand for? Well, it's got 16 inches swing above the bed. That's a 16-inch bowl, plate, platter, and then you want to turn, you can do 16 inches above the bed. That's its swing capacity. The 44 is its bed length, what you can turn in between centres on the lathe. The 44 is without a chuck, so that would be between just centres. Well, something I missed. It is a 16-inch swing capacity. However, this whole head turns. So it turns right around this way and comes off of the end of the bed here. There's some nice big fixings here to put in the bed extension, which is called the outrigger. Now that increases the bowl capacity, or the turning capacity, of 16 inches all the way up to 29 inches. That's 735 millimeters. That's massive, absolutely massive. 29 inches it's bigger than my car tyre, with the car wheel with the tyre on it. It's massive. So I don't think personally I'll be turning anything that big, certainly not yet anyway. Maybe in a little while, but not yet. The RPM of a machine, is it good? Is it fast enough? Is it slow enough? So this has got a range of 100 RPM right up to 5,000 RPM. Now, as far as I know, that is one of the fastest on the market, if not the fastest on the market. Do you need 500 RPM at 5,000 RPM? No, not really. You don't need it quite that fast, but I suppose in some circumstances, maybe with the guys doing resin, I don't know, I haven't used that yet, but maybe in some circumstances that sort of speed would be good for maybe wet sanding and things like that. But for me, I haven't gone above 2,000 RPM yet because I just didn't need it. I'm new to wood turning, so I might find a way, might find reasons why I need to go a bit higher. The 100 RPM, is that needed? Definitely. Absolutely brilliant for putting oil finishes on, or for turning nice and slowly for YouTube videoing for you guys, and really good for doing sanding sealer as well, just getting it on nice and fine without you having to turn it by hand whilst putting the sealer on itself. Power. What kind of power does the NOVA Galaxi have? Well, unbelievable amount of power, that's what it has. It's a 1.5 kilowatts, so 1.5 kilowatts of motor on a single phase, because it changes it up in here on a transformer, up to 2 horsepower motor. So that's 2 horsepower DVR, direct drive motor, on 230 volts. So I think if you guys are 115 volts in America, I think you only get 1.5 horsepower, 1.75 horsepower, somewhere around there. It's still ridiculously powerful, really powerful. It's got some great features on it. Even though you've got all that power, it's got a great feature of, it's got tool catch feature on it. So the motor notices when you have a really fast load of power go into it, as in you've just got a catch. It will know that you've done that, and it will back off the power so that it slows the machine down, so just in case you've got a tool caught in it somewhere, or you've caused yourself a tool to go across the room. It slows itself down and tries to prevent you from having even worse catch than just ramming all the power into you, which I think is great. I've got it turned on because it's on as standard. I wouldn't turn it off. I don't think there's any need to turn it off. If you've got a bad enough catch for the motor to pick it up and go, oh, you need to stop, then perhaps you need to be hitting the emergency stop button and picking your gouge up off the floor, or the bowl that you've just chucked off the lathe. It also turns in reverse as well. Now that feature I found to be amazing. I haven't had that feature before. I only had a rubbish old lathe before, which it turns some pretty cool stuff on, but it didn't have reverse feature unless you turn it by hand. So the fact that it spins in reverse is really good for me, because then that means I'm not dragging the tool towards me, or when I'm actually pushing the tool away, doing pushing cuts, I can't see the front of the tool. So I actually can't, when I'm working towards the centre, I can't actually see what I'm doing on the centre. I'm just going by what I can see the back of the tool, because as you can see, I'm only just a little bit above centre here with it on the lathe. So if you put the lathe in reverse, a push cut then actually becomes, you're pulling towards yourself, so you can see what the tip of the tool is doing, exactly where you're going and everything, which is absolutely brilliant and works really, really well. It's also good for sanding, to sanding forward and then flip it in reverse. That's really good for sanding. Stops you from putting quite so many marks in it. The most important thing that everybody does when they go shopping, the most important thing they look at when they go shopping, once they've decided slightly what they want, cost. Always on everybody's mind is cost, and a decent place to get it from. a good reputable retailer, somebody who's knowledgeable, knows what they're doing, and doesn't try and just sell you everything in their store. So first of all, cost. You can pick the NOVA Galaxi DVR package, that is with the outrigger and the bowl surface rest as well, which I've got over there. That package cost me £2,590. That's British pounds. I don't know what that works for you guys in America, but for me it was 2,590 quid. That's for the machine and the outrigger. There's no chuck accessories, none of that lot, and the bowl surface rest. So it's a lot of money, and when you're spending that kind of money, for me, that kind of money on a lathe like this, you know, my first big lathe, that's a pretty scary amount of money. And I wanted to go to somebody that was very knowledgeable in what they're doing, wouldn't just sell me any old tat and say, yeah, buy this, it's great, you know, you'll find out what you're doing on it pretty quickly. No, I went to somebody that was really good at the competitors that there are. I had one competitor or one company say, basically, the information for the lathe is online on our website, go check it out. That's not how I work. I want somebody to spend the time on the phone with me, explain to me what it's capable of, what it will be capable of in the future when I get better, what I really need with it and what I don't need with it. So that person is up here. His name's Ian at Pullwood Machinery, and it's info@pullwood.co.uk. I nearly said com, it's not, it's .co.uk. Absolutely brilliant guy. And if there's anything that I needed with the lathe or after sales, he's been fantastic. He's even just told me, because I need a big extractor, he's just told me he can't deal it, he can't get me it, so he's given me another name of a company to go to, which is brilliant. He could just say, I don't have this one, but I have a smaller one that will do just as good a job. He hasn't. He said, no, that's probably the best one you need. You need to go to this dealership to get that, which doing himself out a little bit of money, but keeping me as a customer for a long term. Great guy, answered all my questions on the phone and told me a lot more than I needed on the phone, which is fantastic. And I look forward to having a great working relationship with him in the future and buying different things. I've just recently bought a bandsaw from him as well, which I might be able to do a review one day on that. We'll see. The handle is a little bit of an issue, which again I might bend and move out my way, because when it's locked down it sticks out quite a long way from the machine. But again, it gives me a good place to hold on to something, and it's very, very, very solid. The gliding of it on the machine is noisy, yet very good. I mean, it's really easy. One hand moves everything around. The tailstock, out of my way, the tailstock is, again, really, really good. Retracting, retracting? Try that again. The tailstock is a self-ejecting tailstock. As you wind it backwards, it will pop out whatever you've got set in the centre of the tailstock. So if you've got this live centre in there, or you've got a cone centre or a step centre, it will pop them out for you, which is great because you're going to get a knockout bar and do it yourself, do you? So that's brilliant. I love the little centre store here. You just undo it and it's got your centres sat inside, which it's great. I think it's brilliant. You don't have to keep them in the drawer or worry about any of that. They're just sat in there, nice and neatly away. Well, I've got 4 in there, so it means it's a bit tight and probably a bit too tight really, but it's okay. It stops them from rattling about. So yeah, very good. There is an issue that I don't like, which again might be something to do with being in the chair, but I highly doubt it because I'm definitely strong enough to do it. I'll turn around for you so I'm not in the way. That issue is the tailstock. When it slides up and you can put something in between centres, you want to put a fair amount of pressure on that wood to drive it in, or you want to just drive in the centre into the wood without drilling it or anything first. When you put the lock down, it locks in place, yeah, brilliantly. You can turn it brilliantly, and it'll drive in and out. However, when you hit that wood and it starts driving, I think what I'll be able to do is actually set it up on here, and maybe I'll even show you. So that's all locked down nice and tight. This thing, when that's locked down tight, I could do pull-ups off of it and it wouldn't go anywhere. However, the tailstock, if I push that up to it there, and I'll lock that down, and look, that's pretty hard. I shouldn't have to push any harder than that. And start turning, what happens is, the tailstock slides away. I don't know whether you can see that, but if I put my finger there, where it is now, I'll wind it in, and it just moves back. You can't put a great amount of pressure in. So what you have to do is put it up, and you have to beat it to then start pressing it away. And then it's got it. But when you start driving something in, you want to drive into the wood. If I turn it now, it's just turning itself away. You know, I've not got both hands on that going, you know, around there. No. I'd be able to just turn that up quite easily, and it's pushing the tailstock away. So that is something that I don't know why this handle isn't a bit longer so you can get better leverage on it. Maybe it should have a ratchet system underneath so you can just ratchet it up and then press a button and pull it back. I don't know. The system works the same for the banjo and for the tool rest. So I don't really know why it causes a problem. I don't know, it just doesn't bite in properly, doesn't key in properly. I'm not quite sure. I haven't taken it apart to have a look yet, to be honest. But it will be reported to Paul Wood and to Nova, and hopefully they get to see this video and then they can right a couple of wrongs, because there is only a couple of wrongs. This machine is fantastic. There's 100 more problems with all the other machines that I looked at to buy in, especially with the turn head idea and all that kind of things that they have compared to this machine. Then I think it's fantastic. I think it's brilliant. I would advise pretty much anybody to buy it. The only factor in this machine is the cost. It is a very expensive machine. However, all big lathes are expensive unless you go second hand. If you go second hand, you don't know what's wrong with the motor. You don't know if bearings need changing, all that kind of thing. So all in all, my lathe review is a massive thumbs up. It's great tool, it's a great machine, it's great finishes on the top. Legs, yeah, whatever, they're not great finish, but the actual machine itself, yeah, is absolutely brilliant. And the main reason that I went to look at the NOVA Galaxy, it's the guy that got me into wood turning at the very beginning, watching his videos, which is Doug at Paul Barnes Productions. I'll put him up here or down there, wherever it is, in the video. He's got the NOVA Galaxy DVR, and I thought, well, if it's good enough for Doug to turn on, it's definitely good enough for me to turn on. So that's why I bought one. And the fact of all the features that help with me being in the chair, the turning head, the quite small bed so I can get into it, the fact of going in reverse so that I don't need to get in there and lean over to see what I'm doing. I can just sit back and watch what the gouge is doing at the front there. Loads of different things. It's a very, very good machine. Very good machine. And there's, like I said, there's only those couple of things that I don't like. Not quite sure why that happens. don't like the finish on top of here, it's not great at all, but this I can change, that's not a problem. This bit I just maybe even need to make a sleeve of a handle, a longer handle, so I can just sleeve it and I can crank it along a bit more. The finish on the legs, can't do anything about that. That is what it is, you just can't do anything about that. Same as the finish on the surfer tool as well, surfer rest for the bowls. Again, I can't do anything about the finish on that, and I actually can't put HSS steel on the top of that one because of the shape of it. It would take me a long time to make the piece of steel just to put it on top, so I just have to deal with it with that one. But with this one, we'll make another rest. It's not, it's not a problem. So yeah, I think all in all, lathe review is good. Lathe is good. Price is all right for what it is. It's good. My service so far with Ian at Paul Wood Machinery, brilliant, absolutely fantastic, and thank you very much. The delivery of it was brilliant. That was great. The guy, got it up there. The pallet, it was palleted up and packaged absolutely brilliantly, fantastic. You guys have already seen the time-lapse video of me taking it out of the pallet, nearly tipping myself out of the chair doing so. And yeah, there's not much wastage in wood at all. In fact, it all went in the log burner, so it wasn't anything wasted. It went as heat in the lounge. So that was fantastic, and all in all, thank you. And I look forward to making some great new projects on it. I've got some awesome ideas. There's already been 7 or 8 projects made on this that you guys haven't seen yet because I haven't edited it all. I've tried to get a batch of them before editing so that if I have a week or like 2 weeks where I'm doing metal work instead of woodwork, I can still get away with not doing anything that week because I've got a video already sat there on computer waiting for you. So yeah, I'm looking forward to doing a bit more stuff. I've just got the reverse jaws so I can do some more reverse bowl work and take the bottoms off so there's no tenon or no mortise on the bottom hiding all the work and that. And I think the next big one is a big goblet. I've got some spalted beech, so please keep a lookout for that. My channel, which is Wheelsdan on YouTube. And yeah, if this has been helpful to you, if you're thinking of buying the NOVA Galaxi DVR, I would say do so because it's very, very good. If you've already got one and you're thinking, oh yeah, he's right, that tool rest isn't that great, get in touch with NOVA and tell them, because they will change it if enough people say something. And if it's been helpful to you at all in any way, or you just like the fact there's an idiot on a camera, as I usually am, then please like, share and subscribe to my channel. I really need the viewers, I really need the subscribers, because I'd like this to start, it's not going to pay for itself, I know it's never going to pay for itself, but to start paying a little bit back. I'm also selling my products now on, well, I think I'll be selling them on either Facebook or selling them via Messenger on YouTube. I might even start a store online. I haven't quite decided that bit yet, but if you message me on YouTube, send me a message, my mobile number's on there if you want to hit me up with a message on there, then, or give me a call and say, Dan, I'd like a bowl, or I'd like a vase, or I'd like a box, or a goblet. I really like the ones you've made, or I'm thinking of this, can we make this? I've done some trowels as well, some gardening trowels. They're a nightmare to make, but it's more the metalwork side of it that's the nightmare, because there's 10 hours in polishing on those to get them mirrored. But anything like that, tool handles, anything like that, I'm making them. So if you've got an idea, or if you'd like something, or if you've seen something I've already made and you like it, just message me, ring me, and we'll talk further. Okay, thank you. I'm signing out. Bye.